Looks like I'm out of options for now. I should check on what Dana did in 1937 while she was here.
The key Junta asked me to hide.
Dana, be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
Where do you normally put it?
I have a little hiding place over there.
Is this where you want me to put the key?
Yes, there's a dear.
It's a handy hiding place. Who made it?
Oh, Herr Gustav. He knows only too well that some customers have their little secret. Just need to finish preparing for the filming tomorrow, then we can chat away to our heart's content. If you could just fetch me a new roll of film from the darkroom, then we're done.
Here are the film rolls Junta asked me for.
Darn it. The end of Junta's notes. Impossible to know what happened next. But maybe I can figure... Impossible. This is where Junta's bed used to be, which means her secret stash can't be far. Junta wrote that a hiding place with the key was near the bed. Things stuck. Things stuck. Get away! Junta's coffer key. I'll need a key to open it. Where can I find the combination for the mechanism? Darn it. The end of Yunta's notes. Impossible to know what happened next. But maybe I can figure out how to open the coffin.
Did you take this picture?
Of course.
How did you get to film them training?
Oh, it was a commission. Lucky, really. Right place, right time kind of thing. Of course, I jumped at the...
How did you and Leon get together? I mean, how did you...
We're just friends, if that's what you want to know.
And Herr Hus? What's he doing with the Origin expedition?
Unfortunately, all scientific expeditions sponsored by the Brown Shadow come with a chaperone like him. There to make sure their funds are used as they see fit. In other words, that there is no divergence with regards to their ideology.
Herr Gustav's radio. Looks like he customized it, probably to compensate for the wave disturbance due to the mountain.
Junta chose the combination.
That's a lot of equipment you have there. If you don't mind my asking, how do you manage to pay for it all?
Oh.
Did you take the photos of the athletes? You're not often lonely then.
Well, look at our sweet little waitress. Doesn't she have a saucy mind? It's called art, dear. My work aims to explore every facet of youth and the vitality of bodies.
I bet it does. I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I use them as a sort of checklist.
A checklist, huh?
Those two struts on the viewer must be where the reels go. I guess one for the film reel and the other for the take-up reel. According to Yunta's notes, there was a room on the other side. I can't reach it anymore, but Dana could.
Wrong one. Better try something else.
Maybe Yunta kept some reels that I can watch using the viewer. There must be some reels in the trunk. There must be some reels in the trunk. Vaughan Refuge, 1937. Yunta's films, taken during the summer Dana worked here. This one says Lenny, director. So I guess Lenny did get to make her film after all. The screen is in the way. Interesting footage.
I'm sure there's more for me to do here.
I've already seen this reel.
I'm sure there's more for me to do here. I'm sure there's more for me to do here.
I hope I'll learn more about Dana from this film. Lenny didn't say she filmed a fight between Dana and Leon. I'd better go back and see her to find out about it. Demoiselle Lenny, I saw the film you shot of Dana and Leon.
So Junta kept it. She got so cross when she discovered I'd rummaged through her stuff. She most certainly had secrets of her own, that one.
I know it was ages ago, but can you recall what happened between Dana and Leon that day?
You do like flogging a dead horse, don't you, Fraulein? But as you please. Since Junta never let me use her camera, I decided not to ask her anymore. Like that, she couldn't say no, could she? And that's when I heard them arguing.
How could you agree to this, Leon? How could you?
I told you I had no choice. The local guide for Baltayar can't do it anymore. He got injured.
There are plenty of other guides in Wagen. Why does it have to be you? Just tell them to find someone else.
Look, Dana, I didn't want to tell you, but...
But what?
Frank Huss, that brute from the other night. He's the one that made the call here. In other words, he's taking revenge by sending me to the other side of the world with the Origin expedition. And he said that if I refused, something might happen. Not just to me, but to you as well.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're a Vegarian and so are your parents, right? Well, Huss says it won't be long before the Brown Shadow is in power, and he made it clear that something was brewing, and that you and your parents would be first on the list.
What list?
I don't know, but it can't be good. Then he said that other Vegarians would follow.
Dear God.
Dana, darling, the world's gone crazy. Promise me you'll be very careful. It will be all right if you just watch yourself and what you say. I've asked Junta to stand by you just in case. It won't be long, darling. Half a school year at the Music Academy. I'll be home for Christmas. Promise. Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that. You know I don't like it.
It's true, though. That's exactly where you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
If you keep that up, Leon Kobatis, I'll find you a nickname too.
Go on, then.
All right. Your nickname will be Highland Painter from now on.
Not sure my Veganese artist friends will like it, but why not? Beautiful, isn't it? I could stay here forever.
There, Fraulein Walker. That is all I have to say. I hope this time you have what you need to continue on your journey.
Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny. But there is just one more thing. You mentioned a music academy? They must have ledgers and archives. Maybe I'll be able to find out whether Dana left an address there.
Well, it hasn't moved. It's still in Wagen. Go to the musicians' district. It's right next to the musical square. That's all I can tell you, so if you don't mind, Fraulein.
Thank you. Then that's where I'll continue my search.
Is it really worth your while to keep looking for Dana? Is it not just another pipe dream, Fraulein? I get the impression there have been others.
I prefer to look at it as a calling. Besides, I don't have much choice. Thanks to you, she's a part of me now.
As you wish. I hope you find what you are looking for.
Thank you. Again. I've got everything I need from here, I guess. Best get back to the guest house. Get some rest. I'll go to the music academy first thing in the morning. I found her, my sweet Katusha. The girl in the painting. Her name is Dana. Dana Rose.
That's nice, Kate. Real nice.
I'm gonna find out who she was, just like I promised you.
Nothing more than a good old adventure to forget your grief, I guess. You should go, Kate, or you're gonna miss the tram. There will always be a train for you.
Oh, gosh. What a day.
Oscar's okay, wherever he is. I'm not abandoning him. I just need to find him. Frau Wagner's guest house is in a great location, right between the tram station and the botanical garden. Nothing relevant. The expedition mustn't have led to any major breakthrough, I guess.
Is that you, Katie?
Yes, Mom! I mean, who else can it be?
Oh, hello, Munchkin.
Hey, Mom. Wow. I hope I get to travel around the world too when I grow up. I'd love to play with Mom's music box in the living room. We haven't seen Grandpa and Grandma for a long time. Mom says they'll probably come over from New York on her birthday.
Is everything okay, Katie? How are you doing with your homework, Munchkin?
You forgot your music box.
Be careful with that, please, Munchkin.
Where'd this come from?
I already told you. Your grandma and grandpa gave it to me when I was little.
Doesn't look like it's from New York, though.
I don't know. Must have been in the family forever.
I just love it.
You've always liked it. Ever since you were little.
Will you give it to me when I'm big?
Maybe, if you're a good girl, when I get old.
So when will that be, then?
Later, Katie.
But when?
In a very, very long time, I guess. When I'll be gone.
What the hell? You want me to call you Olivia? Fine. I've survived worse criticism. I shouldn't put it off. I better call Olivia while I have the courage. Who do you think you are, Olivia Foster? It's easy to judge and lecture me from New York. You know nothing about what I've gone through, of what I've had to endure since leaving Hans. Don't know why I should be so nervous about making a simple phone call. I mean, hey, I've crossed Europe, been in all sorts of danger, and yet look at me here. I'm worrying about talking to my former best friend. Oh, and I think I used to spend my life on the phone gossiping with her. So what do I risk? Criticism? The one who missed her mother's funeral because she was breaking rocks at the bottom of a mine. In any case, Olivia hasn't stopped criticizing me ever since I left Valladolid on Hans Vorarlberg's train. I'm the one who should be criticizing her. I mean, come on. Isn't she the one who took advantage of my absence to get her hooks into Dan? Now look at me, mulling over old grudges. That's exactly what I wanted to escape from when I decided to go with Hans in his train to Syberia. And then there was the departure with the Yukon tribe, their seasonal migration. Come on, Kate, for Christ's sake, stop procrastinating. Just make the darn call and get it over with.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Kenton, is that you? Who's there, please?
Olivia, it's me, Kate.
Kate? Gee, it's so weird to hear your voice after all these years.
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know, things have been complicated.
Complicated? I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? You know, to visit your mother's grave?
You know I can't come back, Olivia. I'm still wanted by the police over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your mother. Visits from the police, the requisitions, and just when she was diagnosed, too. And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
I don't have to justify myself to you, Olivia, or to anyone else.
Kate, Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother, Dan, or even that poor Mr. Kenton. And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing castles in the sky and ignore those who care about you.
Are you done?
Oh, Kate. I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone. And that's how you're gonna stay.
Okay, let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page. A new day in Vaughan. I must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records. Demoiselle Lenny told me the music academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more.
Oh, hello, Miss Walker. Miss Walker, did you sleep all right?
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
I'd like to go to the music academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town, where students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, you know. Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Vaughan was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see. But I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
Oh, it must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
I went to the Silberspiegel Refuge yesterday. Oh, magnificent.
I won't disagree with that, Miss Walker. Those mountains are the pride of the town, just like old Lenny.
Lenny is highly respected in Vaughan because she was a resistance fighter during World War II, right? Well, I heard about it when I was at the refuge.
Lenny Renner might be a grumpy old spinster, but to us she's still a heroine. Pity the same can't be said of her father, though. Still, everyone has their cross to bear, as they say.
What do you mean?
No point gossip-mongering. The war was a dark time in Vaughan for everyone, see? Best not stir up old memories.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
Oscar? Bet you can't catch it!
Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
All right, then.
Oscar! Are you all right?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar! Oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar. And you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
I'm so glad he's back.
Is there anything that requires my assistance? Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of losing you again. An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Borgstadt. Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing. Do you know where the Music Academy is, Oscar?
It should logically be on the square.
I only know Dana as a waitress at the refuge, and yet everything seems to fit with her here. Not hard to imagine her coming here to the Music Academy to study. And who knows, Maybe Leon waited for her outside one day as a surprise after returning from his Baltayar expedition. I can't open it like this. It looks like it's been mechanically sealed. Strange.
Guten Tag!
What now? If you're from the council, you can come back when I'm not so busy.
Okay, so you're busy. There's no need to shout at me.
So, now what do you want? Council minion?
I'm not from the council. I'm just a visitor here. I came because I was hoping to look at the file of a student from the 1930s.
Oh. I'm sorry. It's just that I haven't time for digging up old files from 70 years ago. I have way too much to do here, you understand.
I can tell you're a little overwhelmed. Where's the rest of the staff? Or maybe a student could show me.
You are standing in front of the rector, and the only employee of this academy. My name is Maximilian Mahler, and it falls upon me to manage everything on the premises. The maintenance, the archiving, and the lot before we close next month. So, if you don't mind...
I'm very sorry to hear that the academy is closing. And I can see you're extremely busy, but I've come such a long way to see it. I'd be so grateful if you could locate it. It's really important to me.
And so is this place important to me, too. And I would love to hear the mechanical orchestra play one last time before the academy closes. But, alas, I can't, can I? Unless,
Unless what?
Well, you know.
Okay, so you're suggesting that you'll only get me the file if I get that mechanical orchestra going? Is that it? Well, Herr Mahler, that's called blackmail.
No, young lady. We call that, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Otherwise, we all might as well live on islands, don't you think?
Okay, I'll give it a try. Believe it or not, I have seen mechanisms like the one on the square before.
Well, in that case, I promise to give you the file in return for your services.
Thanks.
But I must warn you that the square has undergone some transformations over the years, and some parts of the mechanism may be difficult to get to.
Don't worry, I'll make myself thin and slide between the cracks.
You'll find some of them scattered around the square, and some of the others you'll find in the clock tower. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second.
What are you...
Now, what is the name of that student you're interested in?
Rose. Dana Rose.
And what were the years she attended our illustrious academy?
In the 30s. 1937, to be precise.
Oh. And here it is. And here you will find the annual inspection reports of the mechanisms by Frau Beckmann.
Frau Beckmann?
She was the rectoress of the Academy during the years you spoke of. These are from 1937. You see, I have a marvelous memory regarding archives. This is why I have chosen Frau Beckmann's, because there's something in here regarding that Edna Drose you spoke of.
Dana Rose.
Quite. You will also find some sheet music with annotations. This is the Hymn of Bargain, which you must play on the piano on the square in order to activate the Orchestra of Automatons. Once you have fixed the mechanisms, of course. All right then, here you go. What are you waiting for?
This sheet music corresponds to the piano part for the Hymn of Wagen. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to. I wonder what it's supposed to represent. The report that the rectoress of the Academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. Music Academy Inspection Report, October 12, 1937.
Today, I was due to inspect the musical mechanisms that enable students to give a public display of their talent and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town. Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection, and this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off color, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
Thank you for asking, Frau Beckmann, but I'm just a little tired, that's all.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though. Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fraulein.
According to Frau Beckmann, it opens the maintenance room just next to the clock tower.
Looks like the rector was right, Oscar. I should be able to find the mechanisms he wants me to repair by following the circuit Dana described in the report.
They would...
I've still got to activate the mechanisms mentioned in the report before leaving the square. The report that the rectoress of the Academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. We're going to have to find all the automatons, Oscar.
According to the rectoress's report, the model situated next to the piano in the kiosk shows their location and whether they've been repaired.
An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Bohgstadt. We're going to have to find all the automatons, Oscar.
According to the rectoress's report, the model situated next to the piano in the kiosk shows their location and whether...
If the report is right, a flag is raised only when the corresponding mechanism is working. Too bad. It could have helped me find them. If the report is right, a flag is raised only when the corresponding mechanism is working. Too bad. It could have helped me find them. I don't think they mentioned this code in the report.
The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it.
So you're the one Frau Beckman sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what they look like, especially now that they've been inspected by the maintenance men. I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if he were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay.
You can tell, Frau Beckman, this automaton still works correctly, but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter.
Is there anything else you need, Fraulein?
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Borrelberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire. So he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fraulein.
It seems perfectly functional. seems perfectly functional. Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square. I wonder what they look like, especially now that they've been inspected by the maintenance men.
be on the right track to successfully completing the service the Rector asked of you.
Thanks, Oscar. But I still have to find the other mechanisms. Given the condition of that door, it should give way if I force it a bit.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Such an act is illegal.
Let's just hope that no police come by here.
Hard to fall to me.
Frau Beckmann told me to look at the mechanisms on the square.
Is there anything else you need, Fraulein?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fraulein.
The connection between this mechanism and the other ones on the square seems to be operational. Something's wrong. The connection between this mechanism and the other ones on the square seems to be operational. The mechanism of this automaton box doesn't seem deteriorated, Oscar. Can you see anything wrong?
It looks like there is a component missing in the upper part. You should look for another one and then replace it.
Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. It doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though. I need to get the van to move. It's blocking access to the tuning box.
There's probably a way to get in touch with the owner of the vehicle.
I need to get the van to move. It's blocking access to the tuning box.
There's probably a way to get in touch with the owner of the vehicle.
I don't believe it. Because of that van, I can't get to the mechanism. I'll have to find a way to move it. I need to find the owner. The telephone number of the company is written on the van.
I seem to recall seeing a telephone in the Music Academy, Kate Walker.
Wagner Baufirma, Dietrich. Guten Tag.
Hello, excuse me, but your van's parked on the square and it's blocking the way. Would you mind moving it?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm with a client nearby. I'll move it right away.
Thank you.
Part of the mechanism was damaged, but I changed it. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order now.
No.